Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Simple Stories Saturday, hosted by Joanne Bartel. And we will all be using our simple stories to create our layouts today. And today I'm using Vintage Weathered Garden. Now, I did create a process video. However, y'all know how it is, you do something without even thinking. You're busy. And I was doing I was trying to multitask. And I was I pulled up my SD card and I went to move the clips over into a file. And instead, because 100,000 times I have deleted them off the card, the videos, so that I could add more because, you run out of memory. I hit the delete. And although it has little arrows where you can go back, go forward, undo, redo, whatever, they weren't lit up. And of course, I couldn't use them. Then I spent a couple hours, well, maybe 3 or 4, trying to find a program or something where I could restore them without paying too much money. Well, the cheapest I could find was $50. And I am not monetized. And I do this for fun. And I just couldn't talk myself into giving up that money for a 1 week session. Because I thought, I probably won't goof again in a week. I mean, I will be thinking twice before I do anything the next time. So, yeah, I couldn't talk myself into it. So, we have a layout share instead. And this is the completed layout, and that is my son and grandson. And they were on a camping trip. And my daughter-in-law took this photo of them up there on top of the mountain. And it's just so cute. And the paper here, it is, well, it has a little butterfly in the upper right-hand corner, and I cut it out to say something else. And because I plan on using that wood grain, so I just went ahead and put the wood grain over the top. And that wood grain is from Color Vibes. It isn't the woods one. It's an older piece. And it went so great with the end of that butterfly on the left. However, you can't see the end of the butterfly on the left. So I didn't really match it really well since I covered it up. But the first thing I worked on was through here. I did, before I started the cluster though, make 3 tags because you know how it is when you're thinking about the layout and what you're going to do to it. And I do for a couple of days while I'm doing other things and not even touching the layout. Well, I ran out of real estate. I mean, in my head, I had enough room for 3 tags on my layout. However, I only have 2. So this is the largest one because I used it first and still hadn't realized I'm not going to use 3. And I put those little boots on there. Now those little boots comes in a die set. Well, come all by theirself in a die. It is 2 boots, so it's not one, but they are connected. And it was from AliExpress. I had Googled hiking boots and found these. I thought they were bigger. However, they didn't work out too bad because this is my largest cluster and they look fine on there. I used craft cardstock and I inked it with tea dye and I inked the soles even more. And I wanted to lace the little holes that was there for the um, eyelets. And I thought later I could have inked them with a marker and just got a little ink around each one of them. But I didn't think of that till I was done. And I wasn't going to try it with well, this isn't crochet thread. That was my original thought. This is waxy flax from Close to My Heart because I seen it first when I went to pull out the crochet thread. And I thought, well, probably go through the little tiny eyelet holes better. So I used that. And as I said, they're separate. So I just kind of put one snuggled up to the other so that it looked like it was a little bit forward. And I added my pieces of ephemera there and layered them. And that black and white part, it was a 3x4 tag. And all I did was cut a piece off of it. And also there was a little label there. And I'm going to be using it in the second cluster. No, it's a third cluster. And I used Elizabeth Craft, designs die for the leaves. And then I started to use, well, I had it out, Tim Holtz lacy border dies. However, when I put it up there, I thought, man, that looks so beautiful but feminine. So I used the Elizabeth, let's see, it would be Marianne Designs chicken wire. And so, yeah, that's my layout. And I didn't put string in there. I used one of the brads, the sticky brads. Now, y'all know those cute little border things they have in the sticker book? Well, that's what I was making here. I used some of the plaid paper and then some of, well, I think it might have been the 6x8 paper that's like this one here that's in the background, and just trimmed off an edge and put it on top. And then I put some of the border, well, chicken wire underneath it. And then you see that little bitty strip there, a film strip. It came in a die that I got from AliExpress, and it was just too cute to resist because I wanted the numbers. However, the numbers fit in those little teeny tiny squares there, well, rectangles. And so when I cut it out, this was what was left over. And so I thought I'd use it like film strip. It looks like film strip to me. So yeah, I just tore it a little bit and put it on there. And I had a leftover tree ring, and that's a Tim Holtz tree ring. So I added it underneath and some of the flowers and the EK Success Punch branch. I did have it in the other one too. And I used the same paper that I used on that border there, that wood grain, so that I could repeat it since I covered up my butterfly that had it on there. And put my title, which is Absolutely Amazing Day. And it was going to be together with the foam together that was on the foam phrase sticker sheet. However, it was kind of too big and covered up too much, so I put it back and pulled out a sticker that says Filled with Joy. So my title's Absolutely Amazing Day, Filled with Joy. And I did layer both of them with some of the coordinating, well, cardstock sheets that go with this collection, and put the Filled with Joy up on foam tape. And although in my head, and me having more real estate on my layout than what I actually had, I had a plan to use a tag in the upper right hand corner. However, there really wasn't room for it, so I decided to instead put it at the top of this photo. And so 3 tags did not make it on here because 2 places I thought of putting it, they didn't quite fit. But I did use the smallest tag here, and then I used the Live Simply and added some of that waxy flax to it. And I wanted to make sure I had some crafts, so I was looking through my savable scraps because, a lot of times you have leftovers that maybe you can use on another layout. And that is a border trim. I don't know the name of it, but I think it's Martha Stewart. And it was craft, so I would have craft in at least 3 places on the layout. I have the label from the 3x4 card that I cut the black and white plaid out of, and I did stamp both the labels that I used on here with a Studio Light stamp, and instead of just having them plain, I couldn't find anything I wanted to stick to them, so I decided to stamp them instead. And I added hearts to all 3 cluster areas too. I added a couple leaves, and I think that's about it, and I'll be done, and I am done. Will be. I am done with my layout because this is a share. I am not doing a process video, unfortunately. But the links will be down there below for everybody else that is participating in the Simple Stories Saturday. And so, yeah, lots of inspiration down there for your simple stories. And yeah, there's my completed layout. And so very, very sorry it is not a process video. I will be trying to watch that and making sure I don't do it for a while again anyway. But I hope y'all have a happy, scrappy week. You have fun on the hop. Bye.